And I will confess I have a personal reason for gratitude above and beyond that of an American citizen just glad for patriots. It's a far more personal reason, which is that I met my wife Heidi on the 2000 Bush-Cheney campaign. We were one of 8 marriages that came out of that campaign. And so ever since, there's been a lousy joke I've told, which is whatever else anybody thinks of George W. Bush, in our house, he will always be a uniter and not a divider. I'm thrilled to be here with so many wonderful patriots at a time when our country is at such a moment of crisis. And I'm here today with a word of hope and encouragement. All across the country, people are waking up. This election, I believe, will focus on 3 critical issues: jobs, freedom, and security. Let's talk about jobs. You know, it's easy to talk about making America great again. You can even print that on a baseball cap. But the real question is, do you understand the principles and values that made America great in the first place? The heart of our economy is not Washington, D.C. The heart of our economy is small businesses all across the United States of America. When we take off, you simply take the boot of the federal government off the back of the necks of small businesses. If I'm elected president, we will repeal every word of Obamacare. We're going to pass common sense health care reform that makes health insurance personal and portable and affordable and keeps government from getting in between us and our doctors. Simple, flat tax. In just a couple of years, everyone here is going to be able to fill out our taxes on a postcard. The IRS. In the EPA.
Get rid of the EPA!
I hate that when they say rein in.
And the federal regulators who have descended like locusts on farmers and ranchers and small businesses, killing jobs all across this country. These folks there, I said, what's the difference? Regulators and locusts. I said, well, the thing is, you can't use pesticide on the regulators. And this old West Texas farmer, he leaned back and said, "Want to bet?" We've seen for 7 years a war on coal. Barack Obama promised if he got elected that he would bankrupt every coal-fired plant in America. And that may be the only campaign promise that he's coming awfully close to meeting. That is fundamentally wrong, and it is immoral. And by the way, Hillary Clinton promises if she's elected, she's going to finish the task and bankrupt anyone associated with coal. I give you my word right now, we are going to lift the federal regulators back. We are going to end the war on coal. America is the Saudi Arabia of coal. We are going to... A couple of weeks ago, I was at a campaign event in West Virginia with several hundred coal miners. Person after person, I had the opportunity to shake hands with, to look at them, to look them in the eyes, and person after person, what they just said was real simple. They just said, "Help me. My entire life, my family is under assault from the federal government. This is wrong in the United States of America. We are blessed with unbelievable energy resources: coal, oil, gas, wind, nuclear, solar, ethanol, biofuels, all of them. We ought to develop all of them, and that's millions of jobs for Americans without knuckleheads from Washington stopping it." Why on earth is the federal government the largest landlord in the United States of America? Listen, in my home state of Texas, the federal government owns about 2% of the land. We think that's 2% too much. And as president, I will lead the effort to return the federal land in the West to the states and to the people. To find the last Secretary of the Interior from the West, it strikes me it's high time for that to change. And we're going to stop amnesty. We're going to secure the borders. We're going to end sanctuary cities, and we're going to end welfare benefits for those here illegally. All of that is we're going to see millions and millions of new high-paying jobs. We're going to see jobs coming back to America, coming back from China, coming back from Mexico. We're going to see wages rising again. We're going to see young people coming out of school filled with hopes and dreams and 2, 3, 4, 5 job offers. We'll see morning in America. That's what this election is about. The second critical issue this election's about is freedom. You know, just a few weeks ago, the passing of Justice Scalia really underscored the stakes of this election. It's not just one, but 2 branches of government that hang in the balance because we are one liberal justice away from a radical 5-justice left-wing majority that would undermine religious liberty, that would try to take away the Second Amendment, that would give away U.S. sovereignty to the World Court and the United Nations. Now, you know, a couple of debates ago, Hugh Hewitt asked all of us about the Supreme Court and religious liberty. And Donald Trump turned to me. Donald said, "Ted, I've known a lot more politicians than you have." Well, in that, he is clearly correct. Donald Trump has been supporting liberal Democratic politicians for 40 years. I have no experience with that. But Donald continued, he said, "Ted, when it comes to the Supreme Court, when it comes to religious liberty, you got to learn to compromise. You got to learn to cut deals with the Democrats and go along to get along." Well, let me be very, very clear to the men and women of Wyoming. I will not compromise away your religious liberty. Away your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Pretty sure here in Wyoming, y'all define gun control the same way we do in Texas. Hitting what you aim at. The third critical issue in this election is security. For 7 years, we've had a president who abandons and alienates our friends and allies and shows weakness and appeasement to our enemies. Again, 2 debates ago, Donald Trump explained if he were president, he would be neutral between Israel and the Palestinians. Well, let me be very, very clear with you today. As president, I will not be neutral. America will stand unapologetically with the nation of Israel. And what did Reagan do? Reagan cut taxes. He lifted regulations. We saw millions and millions of new high-paying jobs. That generated trillions in new federal revenue, and he used that revenue to rebuild the military, and we bankrupted the Soviet Union and won the Cold War. I intend to do the exact same thing with radical Islamic terrorism. Repeal Obamacare, pass a flat tax, rein in the regulators, stop amnesty. That's going to produce millions and millions of new high-paying jobs. It's going to raise wages all across this country. That's going to generate trillions in new federal revenue, and we will use that revenue to rebuild our military so it remains the mightiest fighting force on the face of the planet. Will our military be governed by political correctness? We will not weaken and we will not undermine ISIS. We will utterly and completely destroy them. This political process has been an interesting run. We started out with 17 candidates, an amazing, fantastic, diverse, young, talented field. But the primary's done its job. It's narrowed the field. As we stand here today, there are two and only two candidates who have any plausible path at winning the Republican nomination. Me and Donald Trump. And what we are seeing happening in Wyoming and across the country is we're seeing the party unite.